Hi guys, so I'm back, the second reading of the day. And yes, you read it correctly. This is a question about Roy Moore and the Mueller investigation, okay? And something happened. Okay, so let me track back a little bit and explain why I'm doing this reading. First of all, I've done a reading before this one that's half an hour long, and it's taking so long to upload. It's going to take an hour and a half. So it's possible that I'm going to be done with this reading. I'm going to upload it. It's going to be online faster than the reading I've done before. So anyway, it's not the only reason I'm doing this. The other reason is I saw over the weekend a video that was done, I think August of this year or last year, that showed him speaking Russian fluently, okay? And he's saying that Vladimir Putin is better for America than something like that. Like Vladimir Putin, I agree more with Vladimir Putin than American values, or something like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like he liked how he was anti-gay rights or something like that. Okay, so he really said that. And when I saw him speaking Russian, I was like, whoa. That crystallized several things that I had thought about him. Okay, first of all, and the other reason why I'm doing this reading, and something that happened today on my mind, has been kind of playing on and off, is I literally have this vision. Sometimes I do tarot cards, of course, but sometimes I do have visions a little bit. Like I have a really close friend, and sometimes when I have a question about something, I have her call me and ask the question, and then I close my eyes and I see images pretty clearly. So anyway, but this is kind of me playing in my mind, something like that this whole event, there's all these people involved, the event of the election of Roy Moore. There's all these people involved in the Russia scandal. They're all going to go in there. This British guy called Nigel Farage, okay, for example. He's there. And I feel like, how weird, right? It's so strange that they would take such an interest in this local election. And so the image I have today is people in the FBI, and they're laughing. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe these guys, such idiots. Because everything is being, like, there's so much surveillance going on, because there's the actual authorities of this country are worried that there's another repeat of the election is going to happen. So everything is hyper monitored. Okay, that's what I'm getting. So they're like, yeah, we got it. I can't believe they're so dumb. So whatever is happening right now behind the scenes, conversations they're all having with each other related to these election, Russian thing, whatever that is, everything is being recorded. So things are going to be used as evidence. Okay. So that's that. And I remember also when I first did the video, the first initial video I did about Roy Moore, and when I saw the ending, his ending, and all this, the scandal, the secret that was going to come out. When I saw it, of course, I barely knew what Roy Moore was, who he was. So there's nothing in my mind suggesting that he had a quote-unquote a dark secret or something. Okay. So what came to my mind then was something related to the Russian investigation, because then as now there's all this connection to the whole Russia. Like, it's strange how connected he seems to be. Not only that he speaks Russian pretty fluently, but that he there's all these people involved in the whole, like, WikiLeaks, like the guy that's the British guy. All these weird shady characters are there. Why? Why are they, what are they doing there? Okay, so there's more, the interest, it's not just that he's a Republican, there's something darker behind him, okay? So that's where I'm coming from and why I'm doing this reading, because I saw some polls say that Moore is ahead, the other that Doug Jones is ahead, and what if he loses? Why this feeling? Why do I have this consistent feeling about him? Okay, so then I just did a reading because I want to know. I'm like, you know what? If it's true that he's connected to the Russians in that way, or there's something more to him than just being like, sort of like Dara Rohrabacher, right? That guy is just like a 100% agent for those dudes or whatever, right? He's just like completely out there. And the same with this, like, why would you even make that statement? Isn't that suspicious enough as this, like, right? So anyway, so given now the circumstances and given that the election is tomorrow, I wanted to find out more about Moore. So I just pulled out a five position reading, and it's interesting because it looks like, yes, he could be. That very, very much so. Because you have, let's look at the final card here. Justice overturned and the coffin. So there's a negative judicial fighting against him, and that's his ending. That's literally what the cards are saying here. And let's look at, this is pretty interesting actually. Let's look at the first card. Because like I said, those types of readings with the Lenormand, the cards mirror each other. So the ending cards, they're kind of like, you can read them like this. And then the 1 and 5, 2 and 4, and then the center. Okay, so we can look at that. The first position is judgment and a secret. And so look how judgment and justice are both related to legal things, I think. Okay. And I thought, I actually just looked up the meaning of Judgment Day. Because the judgment card to me was always pretty, I was always like, oh, what is this? I was kind of always pretty confused, right? Because a lot of tarot books inside say it's about a rebirth or like a reckoning. Like I feel like I don't really understand exactly what this means. So the stuff I looked up online was saying that the Judgment Day biblically essentially just means that some say, oh, the end of the world, and the others just say the day when Jesus comes back and judges us all for our actions. So in a way, I think it's much more literal than I want to make. It's just like he's being judged because of his secret. And the secret here is not what we're thinking. The secret here is financial ties. Why do I say that? Because there are two cards related to that. The bear card, which is, I know a lot of people want to say, oh, look, another Russia card. But no, the bear really is classic card for finances in the Lenormand. Okay, so basic finances, signifying finances, or the boss. But here I think finances. The bear. And then we have Ace of Pentacles upside down, which means wrong money, like money obtained, could, in the context of the question, right? It could be wrong money obtained illegally. And so it's interesting to look at the context of the Five of Cups, because it's a card of disappointment. And it's a card that has showed up for some Republicans. Because I feel like if we think of the cups as also the element of values, we think that they are so desperate to have their values win that they'll do anything. So they're disappointed, so they take the money. Okay, so the money here is the bear. All right. So that's one. Okay, the other thing, okay, so then we have this indication that it's a money issue. And that it's not the whole like child thing. There's nothing really here indicating the child thing. Except that on the center in his position, right, not his position, but the central position, which is supposedly the most important, you have the Queen of Wands and the Whip. And the Whip is a card of aggression, of arguments. So what this tells me is that right now the center for him is that he's fighting the women. And I was like, who's this woman? Does this mean charisma? Because a lot of times I think of the queens as the pure element. So is this just a leadership, or like, I'm like, no. It's not acting like a leader in any particular way. I think what it's explaining is that this woman here, the Queen of Wands upright, stands for all women. So he's fighting all the women who are accusing him of abuse, however you call it, right? When they were young, they were like 10, 12 or something, 13. He was in his 30s. He was hitting on them, and he was a judge and so forth. And so, well, I mean, if you read this story, it's pretty kind of sketchy. Like, he called one of them in high school when she didn't want to talk to him. He called the principal. It was like, I want to talk to this woman. So she had to go leave her class to talk to him because he called. That's fucked up. Okay. Anyway, but it's just saying that he's fighting the women, and that. The problem here I see is the money, because you have the mirror cards 2 and 4. You have disappointment, and then there's money situation here, and then the Ace of Pentacles, and the gentleman, I think that's him here. So he took the wrong money, and the wrong money is right next to Justice overturned. So I think the actual secret that's gonna get him is not the women thing, okay? And obviously the Mueller investigation is all about the money. So they're gonna trace all the ways in which Russian money has gotten to candidates and people who have taken illegal money. I'm not Mueller, obviously. I think the main goal of the investigation here is obviously the president, but I have a hard time believing that going forward, any money that has been like donated to American candidates, especially one who speaks fluent Russian, okay, is gonna be, it's just gonna be like accepted so completely openly like this, okay? So that's what it's saying. Again, judgment card, it's a judgment day comes to him about a secret, okay? And then at the end, justice is overturned against him, and there's an ending. So you could see here also, if we look, do the Lenormand sentences 3 by 3, we could say financial secret leads to aggression, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Aggressive money comes through the man. 3, 4, 5. Aggressive man comes to an ending. Literally, okay. So, like similar with Trump, what you see here too is that the aggression, the bullying, is a means to evade investigation. Okay, so it's showing here that the fact that he has secrets, and he also has financial secrets, and you know what? This could also be that he's a bear, meaning he's a powerful person. This could also be not just money, but the fact that he's a powerful person and he uses, or perhaps even abuses this power, is done in such a way, like the aggression functions as a defense mechanism for all the other crimes. The same thing that was said about Trump in a few other readings I've done about him. The bullying is not just that it's a personality thing. It's that's how he gets away with stuff. He's like, he kind of pushes people away by threatening them, and they don't look into his actual crimes. And people perceive that as oh, look at the personality. It's not a personality, it's a crime. The unpleasant personality covers up the darkness of the crime. Okay, so that's it. And I know this is controversial, but I felt like, you know what? It's what I've learned in the last few years of my life lately. I guess I didn't have to say lately, but is that when I have intuitive thoughts, or when I have these urges and questions like that out of nowhere, I have to go through with them. And so that's why I asked. So I feel like ultimately, regardless of whether he wins or loses, I feel like he is gonna, I don't know if he's gonna go to jail, but there's gonna be legal consequences to him. Not necessarily because of the women, because I don't know how you can, how to prove those things. That's probably complicated, but because of other issues that are related to financial ties, maybe to the Russians, or illegal financial ties or contributions or something like that, okay? The other thing I should look at, and I'm not going to do it now because it's getting late and I have other things to do, but it's to look at his life in the next year. That will give us a clue as to what's going to happen. But I guess tomorrow we'll find out stuff, okay, about the result of the election in Alabama. But I just want to share this with you guys, all right? And who knows, maybe this video is going to show up earlier than the other one, because the other one is going to take like 2 hours to upload. All right, well, thanks for watching. Bye, have a good night.